Welcome. We've got some thrilling Arsenal news lined up for you, so stay tuned until the end to catch all the latest updates. And don't forget to leave 300 likes to keep us motivated in bringing you the latest Arsenal updates. Ethan Nwanery's association with Arsenal is far from over. The highly regarded Hale End graduate continues to feature prominently in the club's long-term plans, despite fierce competition for places in Mikel Arteta's first-team squad. At just 19, the young midfielder has already shown the technical quality, composure and football intelligence that have convinced the coaching staff and technical directors he possesses the attributes to succeed at the highest level. Arsenal's preferred course of action this summer is a carefully chosen loan that would provide regular senior football rather than risk losing him permanently. The club has spent considerable time assessing potential destinations, prioritizing environments that offer consistent minutes, tactical compatibility and competitive match experience week after week, allowing Nwanery to develop away from the intense spotlight of the Emirates while remaining fully under Arsenal's control. Having impressed during pre-season with mature displays and a couple of well-taken goals, Nwanery was nonetheless left out of the matchday squad for the Community Shield victory over Manchester City, a decision widely viewed within the club as a reflection of squad depth rather than any lack of faith in his ability. Club executives, including Chief Executive Richard Garlick, have stressed that Arsenal are not actively seeking to sell their homegrown talents, though they remain open to the right opportunity should it benefit both player and club. Interest from several European sides has been noted, yet the Gunners prioritize development over any immediate financial return and will insist on appropriate safeguards regarding playing time and positional usage. In short, the door at the Emirates remains firmly open. Whether through a well-selected loan this season or continued involvement around the first-team group, Arsenal are determined to manage Nwanery's progress with patience and purpose, keeping him closely connected to the club that has nurtured him from a young age. Mikel Arteta speak out about Arsenal versus Coventry, a season opener laden with narrative, tactical intrigue and psychological edge. The Premier League's 2026-27 campaign gets underway at the Emirates Stadium on Friday evening when champions Arsenal welcome newly promoted Coventry City, kick-off 8 p.m. British summer time. For Mikel Arteta's side, this is the first step in defending a title that ended a wait of more than 2 decades. Their emphatic 3-0 victory over Manchester City in the Community Shield has already set a tone of intensity and purpose that few rivals will relish. For Coventry, the occasion carries far deeper resonance. Frank Lampard's team returned to the top flight after a 25-year absence, having secured the championship title in dominant fashion. The club's turbulent recent history, ownership struggles, relegations and periods of ground sharing makes this promotion feel like a genuine revival for the city. Lampard has made it clear his players will approach the game without fear, viewing the Emirates not as a fortress to be feared but as a stage on which to prove their worth. Arsenal must navigate several defensive absences. William Saliba is sidelined for the longer term while Jurrien Timber remains unavailable with a groin problem. Ben White, Christian Mosquera, Gabriel and Ricardo Calafiori are expected to form the backline. The proposed arrival of Ezri Konsa from Aston Villa has yet to be fully completed administratively. Further forward, Bruno Guimaraes is in contention for a competitive debut, while Bukayo Saka and Declan Rice, both unused from the start in the Community Shield, are strongly tipped to return to the 11. Kai Havertz remains a leading candidate to lead the line. Coventry face their own fitness concerns. Haji Wright, who scored 17 goals in last season's championship, is ruled out with a thigh injury. Recent signing Taiwo Awoniyi from Nottingham Forest may therefore be handed an early opportunity. New arrivals Caleb Urenki, Lum Chauna and Oriol Amenda could make their debuts, while Efren Mason-Clark and Jack Redoni continue to be assessed. Lampard is likely to deploy a well-organized structure capable of applying pressure at the right moments rather than simply sitting deep. Speaking ahead of the fixture, Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta struck a clear note of readiness and anticipation. "I feel good, different, hopefully better. I'm more excited than ever, hungrier than ever. I can't wait to start the Premier League at home in front of our supporters, have a great performance and win the match," he said. He also paid generous tribute to the visitors. "What they've done as a club is remarkable. What Frank has done is incredible. After so many years without being in the Premier League, they earned the right to be here, and they've earned it in a really special way. I love the way they play and the courage they show in every game. Bookmakers make Arsenal heavy favourites at around 1-5 to take all 3 points, with Coventry priced at 16-1 and the draw at 13-2. The champions are also odds-on at 6-5 to retain their title, while Coventry are given the same price to avoid relegation. Market sentiment remains firmly with Arteta's squad, reflecting their superior individual quality and greater squad depth. Psychologically, the match offers a revealing early examination for both sides. Arsenal must demonstrate they can sustain the standards of champions without complacency, particularly against a side arriving with hunger and emotional energy. Coventry, for their part, will look to disrupt Arsenal's rhythm through transitions and set pieces. Lampard's promised proactive approach could make the evening more testing than many expect if the visitors succeed in unsettling the home side's build-up. Most observers anticipate a relatively comfortable Arsenal victory, perhaps by a 2-0 or 3-0 scoreline, given the quality at their disposal and the momentum generated by the Community Shield performance. Yet new seasons rarely follow the script entirely. An overly dominant possession approach from the hosts could leave them vulnerable to the counter, while a spirited Coventry display would provide valuable early belief for their survival campaign. In the end, this is more than a routine opening fixture. It is a meeting between a champion side intent on reasserting its authority and a promoted club determined to show it belongs. Should Arsenal reproduce the intensity shown against City, they will begin their title defense in the best possible fashion. Should Coventry disrupt that rhythm, the Emirates may witness a rather more dramatic curtain raiser than many have predicted. The long season begins here. Gyökeres reflects on settling in, adaptation, energy and Arteta's inspiring touch. Victor Gyökeres' recent remarks on his first campaign at Arsenal offer a measured and rather telling insight into the realities of settling at a club of such stature. The Swedish forward has spoken with quiet pride about the impact he managed to make during his debut season in North London, acknowledging that the early months demanded a period of genuine adjustment. Having arrived from Sporting CP with a formidable goal-scoring record and a substantial transfer fee attached, expectations were understandably high from the outset. The intensity of the Premier League, coupled with the specific demands of Mikel Arteta's system, presented a stern examination that few overseas strikers escape entirely unscathed. Yet Gyökeres is at pains to point out that, once the initial settling-in period had passed, his comfort and effectiveness grew steadily as the months progressed. Familiarity with his new teammates proved decisive. Understanding their movement, timing and preferred patterns of play allowed a far stronger connection to develop on the pitch. This growing cohesion is precisely what many seasoned observers anticipated would eventually unlock his best form. The striker's willingness to adapt, rather than simply impose his previous style, speaks volumes about his professional temperament and the patient environment fostered at the club. Of particular note is Gyökeres' assessment of his manager. He describes Arteta's approach as genuinely inspiring, highlighting the considerable energy the Spaniard injects into every training session. Such enthusiasm, he suggests, has been both motivating and instructive. In an era when coaching can sometimes appear overly clinical, Arteta's capacity to transmit drive and purpose on the training ground remains one of his more distinctive qualities. Gyökeres freely admits that he has learnt a great deal under the Arsenal boss, a sentiment that echoes the views of several established members of the squad. The comments also serve as a timely reminder that big-money centre-forwards rarely deliver their finest work overnight. The Swedish international's journey from early scrutiny to a solid contribution in a title-winning campaign illustrates the value of patience and consistent application. Looking ahead, the foundations laid during that first season ought to serve him well. Greater understanding of teammates and a clearer grasp of Arteta's methods should allow Gyökeres to approach the new campaign with increased assurance and, one suspects, an even sharper cutting edge. All told, his reflections strike a balanced and distinctly professional note. They paint the picture of a player who has absorbed the lessons of a demanding debut year and is now better equipped to thrive in the distinctive environment of English football's elite. Thanks for watching Arsenal Time. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Continue following the Gunners' journey with us, and see you in the next video. Come on, you Gunners!